Did you have the house listed, the Tudor on Arabian?
I did.
Yeah,
Yep.
I thought so. Yeah.
I wanted to go through that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We should have gone through it.
I held it open. You must have missed it.
We missed
No.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I think I saw that information come through after the fact.
If I say all my children, do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah. If I say, okay, all right. Well, and I'm not going to
'Cause it
guess
looks
your
like
age
that.
because
Yeah.
I'm a lousy guesser of that. But if I say Palmer Cortland, do you know who that is? As a character on All My Children.
Okay.
Like back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, 80s.
But he lived in a house that looked like that
Yeah.
Tudor. Like when they would put, when he was on the show, they would show like photos of this big Tudor style mansion and he wore an ascot and he had a certain voice. And that was the
Velvet
So
jacket.
I've always thought of that as the Palmer Cortland house.
It could have pulled it off. It was so stunning inside. Like all the woodwork and
I bet.
everything. Like it made me stand up straighter. For sure. It was so,
Beam
so
ceilings,
beautiful.
like wood beam ceilings. I knew it.
There were.
I
yeah.
knew it. We
And
should've
then
gone
it
through.
looks out over the woods too.
Yeah.
How
It's
much
like
land?
I think it was almost 2 acres.
Okay.
Maybe a little over 2 acres. It was quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily usable space, but
No,
like
it's a hillside with woods on it.
stunning view.
Yes,
Not
exactly.
Ohio feeling at all.
It
Yeah.
works. It works.
We should.
It had a
That's
solarium,
all right.
Oh, yeah?
like a 2-story solarium.
Off the back?
Yeah. And then the
Beautiful.
second level came off of the primary bedroom.
Okay.
So there was a little deck in the primary bedroom in the solarium. It was beautiful.
Inside the solarium?
Yeah.
So you could sit there in your bathrobe on a winter day and watch
Correct.
it snow? Oh, my God.
Past the fire, past the sounds. Moonshine through the clouds, saddle up, 'cause there's no stopping me now.
It is. Hey,
Hey, welcome.
another exciting episode.
Big life in a small town.
Very excited.
Living well together.
Yeah.
We are fortunate tonight
Yeah.
to have somebody who's been living a big life in a small town. Third gen,
Yeah.
Fairborn.
Yes.
Third gen.
I had to think about
Jessica
it for a
Maloney.
second. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the funnest thing about this is she knows our town better than we know our town.
She does.
So we can dig a little deeper and find some dirt.
agree.
We talked about the Cortland Mansion already. This is good news. I love that.
Did cover that.
Yeah, but Jessica's a realtor in our town, and so she does know a lot about the area. And her mom still is.
It's been about 5 years. So
Okay.
she retired about 5 years ago. But yeah, second generation realtor also.
I love that.
I mean, basically, I've been selling since I was like 12. I'm kidding. That's when,
No,
that's
actually
when
you have.
she got her
but
license.
you have watched her.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so you've kind of learned from her. And
absolutely.
what made you decide that you wanted to do this too?
I kind of always thought maybe. And then after I had my 2 daughters, I was like, I think maybe the chaos of this might be good for all of us in terms of like having some flexibility because it's not something that an 8 to 5 kind of afforded at that point. So yeah,
Good chaos.
very, very good chaos.
Yeah.
I actually like that part that it's unpredictable. I don't really know what's going to happen when I get up every day.
Yeah.
So
I get the impression, though, and I've kind of poked around just in your social, I get the impression that you don't necessarily know what's going to happen, but you are a person who kind of likes making things happen.
I
As
do.
opposed to just letting the world come to you. You kind of just go get busy and make things happen.
Yeah, I think maybe most people in this industry are that way.
You think? Well, the successful ones.
I think
there's a lot of sit back and wait in
Do you think that's
especially
an
in
age
recent-
thing?
Well, we should talk about the housing market too.
Yeah.
Because there's some predictions coming. So we want to cover that.
Oh, yeah.
Because the
Okay. I'm
economy's
ready for
changing,
questions.
the world is changing. So we'll cover some of that market type stuff
All right.
as well. But yeah, I don't get the impression that you're just a kind of wallflower, sit around, wait and see how it goes.
not so much. I like to shake it up.
That's what I thought.
And the passions that you have as far as like for vintage and mid-century
Yes,
modern and all
yes.
that kind of led you down this road too, right?
It
'Cause you like the-
did. I kind of always wanted to do so. Interior design was like
Yes.
something I really wanted to do. We were kind of talking about that as I was walking in, and it just didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
So this sort of combines everything.
Yes, because you also work with stagers then. And so there's some design elements with that. And
Right.
you're matching the stagers with the design of the home.
Yes.
And then you get to decide how that all works out,
How it markets.
how it's going to
How it plays. Yeah.
Yes. Do you find that it makes a huge difference?
It does. Staging makes a huge
Mm-hmm.
difference. So I've been showing a lot of vacant houses in like the 200 price point recently. And
Interesting.
it's very difficult for people to anticipate and picture their furniture or even have like a cozy feeling.
Yeah.
So I showed 3 today. 2 were vacant, and the third one, they're all the same price point. We went in the third one, and he was like, "Oh, this feels so cozy. It's a couch." But yes,
Right.
So there's
staging
one
makes
piece
such a
of
huge
furniture?
difference. It made a huge difference.
Wow. And just simple design work that's done in there.
It just
That's
softens
amazing.
the space. So in the kitchen, like I used to stage on my own. I don't do it anymore because I feel like people do such a good job.
Yes.
So just a few things in the kitchen really like just accents. It's like makeup almost. You know, when you put on a little bit of makeup, you're like, oh, okay.
So better.
I know
My
that's
eyes
how
are
I
really
The house
popping,
feels a
right?
little bit more
Makes a girl
confident.
feel pretty.
But they can then visualize themselves in that space. Like
Correct.
even in the kitchen, like if there's something there, it's like, oh, I can just see myself drinking a cup of coffee, sitting here. And
Yeah,
second
just a
floor
suggestion of
solarium.
like a mug or in the solarium.
Second floor, fluffy bathrobe, those big slippers.
Towel warmers.
I
Yeah.
thought you said you'd never move, babe.
Oh, we're not moving. I'm just,
You just
daydream.
visualize
thinking
it.
about adding a solarium onto our second story.
I mean, you could.
You could.
100%.
Yeah, if you
So
wanted.
how do you focus on getting to know your customer? Because if they have a mid-century modern style and you're looking at a couch from, the Waltons, how do you help them understand here's how your style might fit in that house? How do you get to know your peeps?
I ask a lot of questions. So I think you were asking me if I was nervous today a little bit because I'm more of a question asker
Yes.
than I am like a talker.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
I'm a little nosy. And generally
Yeah.
I'll just ask a lot of questions. And people are pretty revealing when you start asking questions when you're going through the process, especially with the house because it's so intimate. So they'll come off with it pretty quick. Like, oh, we have a sectional or we're TV people or we're video game people or we're not.
Yeah.
And then you kind of figure it out pretty quickly.
And you've been doing it long enough that you find that fit for them.
I think so.
Yeah.
Since 2010. So it's been quite a while.
So I know a lot of people in the industry, and a lot of them have had their worst years in the last 3 years have been just bombers, either because of interest or because of price point or because of people maybe sitting still. I know you've had your best year in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So why do some people climb out of the dumpster and some people just kind of find themselves staying in?
I think so. A lot of us that have been in it for a while probably have excelled the last 2 to 3 years because we remember how to sell when it wasn't easy.
So smart.
Like we had to have hard conversations with sellers about how they weren't going to make any money.
Yeah.
And if you started, in the last 7 or 8 years, you don't know how to do that. Or if the houses are sitting for 30 days, how to talk about a price reduction or just things like the different nuances. Just over time, I think we're exposed to a lot.
Right. And so you learned how to sell when selling was more difficult.
In 2010, it was not pleasant. We would
'cause
have
you were
houses
just
on the
coming
market
off.
for like six to 8 months, I think was like an average sale time. And on the flip side of that, we could plan to look at houses 2 weeks in advance if we had someone coming into town, which we've not had that luxury the last few years.
Yeah.
But
And you are a relocation specialist.
I am.
And why do you think that you are a relocation specialist? Why is that near and dear to your heart?
Honestly, I think it's because I've always wanted to relocate and I've never actually had the chance to do that. Speaking of the small town. But I just
Where do you
get
want
excited.
to relocate to?
I don't Savannah, Georgia. If I could really pick anywhere, that would actually be what I would choose.
Is that your
But
vacation spot? Like, here's where we go when we can?
when I am the person picking, yes. And if we go south anywhere in that direction, everyone in the family knows we're stopping there. I'm at least having lunch. It's happening.
That's
Nice.
funny. Our oldest daughter lives in Beaufort, but she lived in Savannah 2 different times too. Oh
my gosh. Did she love it?
Yeah, she did love it. She likes Beaufort a little bit better. It's right kind of in between Savannah and Hilton Head, but still kind of a quieter town, but it's getting
the up and coming,
very,
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of building happening there.
Yeah.
Not that I'm following the area in preparation to move there at any point. Just daydreaming
Yeah.
like the solarium.
Caitlin actually has a solarium on her house, which
She does.
Yeah, on her
Single
kitchen.
story, though.
No, but she loves the area. I mean, like the way you light up as you're talking about it, that's what happens to her too.
Yeah, someday.
Yeah. How old are your children?
19. So together, we're a blended family. We have 4 daughters together.
Okay.
My 2 are 19 and 16. Don't want to say
Oh
she's
my
6, she's
gosh.
16.
Oh my gosh.
And then my husband's 2 are 16 and 15.
Okay.
So we're like right in the.
Oh, you were in the
We're
thick
right
of
in
it.
it.
Yeah.
And they're all girls?
Oh yeah.
I should have made notes for guys like him.
People will stop us, like especially when they were younger. We would be in a restaurant and they would say, "Hey, enjoy this."
Yeah.
Because teenage years are like tough. There's a lot of emotion.
Yeah, there is a lot of emotion for those girls. We have grandsons now too, though, and there's emotions for teenage boys too.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. I think that there's.
That's not true.
I'll let my girls know. I don't know that they feel that way, but I'll let them know.
Actually, I think the boys probably pay as much attention to their appearance as girls do. Like my hair's got to be just right before
And
I
their
can leave the house. And
relationships.
my shoes
and
matter, and do these
girlfriends
match, and
boyfriends.
that's crazy.
But we have 3 daughters, so
Okay.
we understand that those teenage years, and it's tricky, and they go through their thing, and like you're the meanest mom. And I was teasing with Lily today because she was getting a little bit of pushback from her oldest about being too much of a helicopter mom. But our daughters were not allowed to cross the street by themselves until they were 10. Like they couldn't even cross the street. And I'm like, just tell Hawk he's got it made. It's easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to that.
I think my girls would probably say I was a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I mean, it is to me.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to watch over.
Somebody does. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like God gives us a responsibility. These are gifts from him, and to make sure that they do their best throughout all seasons.
Now
of
you
their
just
lives.
turn them loose, let them figure it out. How hard could it be? And so Blended, is he a local guy? Your
He's from
dude?
Cincinnati.
Okay.
So kind of ish, yeah.
Okay.
How long have you guys been married?
Since 2017.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So the girls are pretty little. The youngest was 6 when we met.
Yeah. And is he the Army,
Yes.
retired Army?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that another reason why you're really, want to be able to help the
So he and I,
military
we
people?
weren't together when he was doing his deployments, but I've learned a lot. He took a position when we were together where he had to travel, and I stayed here.
Okay.
So that experience kind of like opened my eyes to a lot of things where these military families don't have options. It's just kind of like, it's time for you to go
Here's
here.
where you're going. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just been a blast.
How do they normally find a place to live then? They just have to go where.
Yeah, so I
whatever's-
have clients that are relocating in January, and they've known
Okay.
for a couple of months that they're going to be leaving, and they're going to Alabama.
Okay.
And I sold her house here in Fairborn, and she's like, we can't find anything there that we like. Like the
In
housing
Alabama?
stock is very
Yeah.
different, and we're having trouble finding something.
Yeah.
So they have some time to find something typically, but sometimes it's like it needs to happen right now. Like I've sold a couple of houses while people are deployed, so we're just FaceTiming through, and then I'm helping them choose based on what I'm saying.
Isn't that amazing? I'm sure that from 2010 when you started to now, the whole way that you're able to sell
Just the
long
technology.
distance, like walking through for
Yes.
FaceTiming.
Yes.
I mean, that's incredible. You didn't do that back then.
So I used to send video clips.
Okay.
We would do like short clips and then email them because I was like really the only way technology wise that would work at that point with
Yeah.
the phone. So
That they could get a feel for what it was like. Yeah. And so then are you helping them in Alabama find a home, or they have to work with their own realtor down there?
they have to work with someone down there. I
Okay.
helped them choose someone down there, but as far as like me being boots on the ground, no.
Yeah, that would be tricky.
It's tough.
How do you find somebody, like, how do you choose a realtor for somebody else?
I'll call and talk to them and see. So like this particular client, I happen to know her pretty well. So I know what she wants like in an agent.
Okay.
So I talk to a few. I kind of vet them first.
Yeah.
Before I'm not just like, Google choosing someone, or even on our Remax network, I'm not just like randomly picking a person.
Yeah.
I'll call and make sure I feel like it's a good fit
Got it.
before I shoot them off in that direction.
Yeah.
So you're on both sides of that equation then.
Yeah.
You can represent the seller, but you can also represent the buyer. And your task really is to give both of those people a soft place to land. Like if they're coming into our neighborhood and you got to figure out what their needs are. You got to figure out how to help them maximize their money. You got to figure out how to match their style. But here's this other person who's heading out, and you already know those things about that person. So now your job is to give them somebody who can help them find a soft place to land somewhere else.
Right.
Ha.
It's a
What a
lot of
game.
listening and paying attention,
Yeah.
I feel like, and really kind of trying to get to know people in a lot of different ways. Like, how do you live? How do you want to live in your house? What amenities are you looking for to be close to? Because a lot of times people don't think about like a grocery store. That's my favorite thing to ask people. What are you looking for? Like, what is there a grocery store you want to be close to? How close do you need to be? Because it's just something that people don't think about necessarily. And then you get on site and you're like, oh God, the grocery store is 20 minutes away.
Too far away.
Yeah. It needs to be 7 minutes or whatever.
Yes. Huh.
That's wild.
That's
How has our new school system, or the new buildings, our new facilities, how has that changed the way you relate other people to our community?
I knew you were going to ask me this. I've thought about this a lot the last few days. I think it's helping people to kind of view this area, our community, in a different way.
I would 100% agree.
And I don't understand how it works, but I think the designers did such a wonderful job, and they made such an attractive package with each place. People are just excited about it. They're excited about the community in a way they haven't been for many years.
Yeah. We hosted, our football stadium hosted playoff games this past week.
Did they really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there were two communities that they come from elsewhere, and they landed in Fairborn for a tournament game for their high school football teams. And they were blown away. I talked to somebody in my office today who was participating in that. And they're like, dude, we had no idea. Your stadium is better than most junior colleges. Wild, right? And Fairborn has always been this little Crumbleina town on the edge of Hillbillyville.
Right.
And suddenly we are like uptown. The technology, he said that they did the Star Spangled Banner, and of course they flashed the lights. Have you been to a high school game yet? They changed the color of the lights, red, white, and blue, when the Star Spangled Banner's going on, and everybody's crying. They were like, dude, this is amazing. Yeah. So our school system is really upgrading their image as well, which I would think would have some impact on the housing market.
It has. I think maybe the scores online for the schools haven't necessarily caught up at this point. I have heard some feedback on that front, but people who are actually from around the area are like softening to, oh, maybe I should consider Fairborn. And obviously the new builds help.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, they're so state of the art. You know, just going through, we went through, it wasn't even completed yet. And it's just phenomenal.
You mean the high school?
Yeah, the high school.
I haven't been in yet, so I'm really excited to go. It's Miami Valley Dance. They do their winter carnival of dance.
Are they going to do it there?
Yeah. I'm so excited to see that.
Cool.
Have you seen the theater space?
Yes. Well, we were backstage.
We were there when it was under
as
construction.
it was building. And how many
seen it
seats?
finished.
850 seats.
I don't know.
I think it is.
It's massive.
I mean, it's
and beautiful.
Wow.
all the different, we saw all the ropes and pulleys and all the curtains, the way those are all going to work. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, because I mean, we used to be at the high school a long time
Winter
ago.
Carnival of Dance was at the Fairborn High School, the old one.
But,
Yes.
when our
but it
kids
had
were there.
stopped being there for a long time too.
We've kind of like jumped around for a few years.
Yeah. And so they opened it up to her. They invited them back, right?
Yeah.
Which is so wonderful.
I can't wait.
So
It's
glad.
it's in a few weeks. I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah. Yes. And you're going to be like sitting.
I'm going to
as
be
a
in
guest.
the,
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
the audience. It's going to be amazing. Maybe you'll get a little like tour. Maybe you'll get to kind of go through and see a little bit more.
I'm
of it, too.
hoping, because I missed the tours this summer that they were doing, so I'm hoping to get to see a little more of it. Like, I actually went to the old Fairborn High School.
Yeah.
And it was leaking when I was there.
Oh, is that
so
right?
like, yeah, I can't wait to see what this is a big change.
What year did you graduate?
99.
99.
Last
Okay.
century.
we say that back in the 1900s.
Graduated way back in the 1900s.
Way back.
1999. That was quite a year. Do you like the whole Y2K thing? Did you
Yes.
guys?
Yeah. And we're all still here.
And we're all still
Nobody
here.
left.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Everything's so
Nothing
good.
happened. There's no flying cars yet. None of the things that they were spinning
close,
to us.
We're getting close, though.
We are getting close.
That flying car thing's not going to be long.
No. So you're a social media genius. If you
That's
guys
strong.
don't follow Jessica already, we'll put all of your handles in
Links
there.
and bios,
yeah,
photos,
links and bios.
all of it.
But what do you think is your top tip for making a home listing stand out in today's digital world?
I really feel like video makes a huge difference. And as much as people don't want to do video sometimes, that is what we're watching.
Yeah. But you're so natural at it.
Thank you.
You really are. I mean, like it's like you're just talking to me.
Thank you. I picture that. So when
Yeah.
I'm looking at the camera, I picture like it's my friend on the other side.
That's the way it feels.
Alex, our videographer, I will pretend like it's not him sometimes. If
Okay.
I'm really like the house we were talking about earlier on Arabian, when we were doing that, it was such a large house and I was trying to get from place to place. I was like running the stairs and then I'd get to the top and I ended up getting pretty nervous on that one. And I had to actually picture him as not him. I had to picture him as my, just like my best friend.
Oh, gotcha.
So is it a regular camera or is he using a phone?
No, he has like a real like
Okay. Yep.
thing. I don't know what it's called. Look, yeah.
Some technology that's not a phone.
What's that
Very.
called, Graham?
Levels and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Gumball? Grumble? Gumball?
Gimbal.
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 Thank you.
Yes, that is it.
I knew we'd get there eventually.
She's a little techie.
Well, I like all that. I like the gadgets.
Yes.
Yeah, I really do. And so when did you start implementing that?
Oh my gosh. So I went to Remax. I was at Berkshire Hathaway. I think I left there in maybe 2016. So maybe I've been at 2018 is when I went to Remax. So a little bit before that, maybe 2016 is when I started doing video.
Oh, wow.
Which has been it's been a minute. Yeah.
And so you're kind of like a pioneer, though, because people weren't doing it back then so much.
No, so my broker at Remax, Tyler Morton, has been pushing video since then.
Okay.
He's like push it.
We got to have Tyler on here.
You do. You need to
Yeah.
have you do need to have Tyler on.
I didn't
Rob
realize that
Wolf
connection.
Right.
was on.
Oh, see,
and
all
so-
this is ringing a bell now.
Okay,
All right.
you're putting us
I'm
together,
in the game.
aren't you?
Yep.
Good job,
I don't
babe.
know. I was stuck on Paul McCortland's mansion for a minute. Yeah, I'm back.
He was in the solarium. Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah. Okay. And Jay's cousin and Tyler's office.
These are all the overlapping.
Yeah.
We love
All
the
right.
overlapping
Small town.
circles. Yes. So you have comfort food. What's your comfort food?
Mashed potatoes.
Gosh, it is. It's mashed potatoes.
I know it.
Is it?
It is.
Everybody's covered. Well, no, some people are mac and cheese.
It's like that or chicken pot pie, but usually it's mashed potatoes. If
Okay.
I'm having a bad day,
Yeah. Mashed potatoes. Do you make them from scratch?
no. I mean, I do. I can. I know how. So I hosted Thanksgiving for 23 years for my family, and
Yeah.
my job was to make the mashed potatoes.
Okay.
And at one point, I think we maybe had 25 to 30 people. So it was like a
wow.
lot of mashed
Oh
potatoes.
my gosh, that is a lot.
I don't do that anymore. And if it's
Yeah.
my comfort food, it's like the Bob Evans microwave. Let me add extra butter.
Got it. That's smart. Have you ever been to an event where they do like a mashed potato bar?
No. Oh, this exists. Where is this?
Well, I mean, sometimes they
Is it
do
in
at
Savannah?
weddings. Yeah, it's probably in Savannah. No, they have like all the toppings, and then they put the mashed potatoes in usually a martini glass, and then you just add your toppings to it, like cheese or bacon.
This sounds like
This
a.
will be my next client
I was going to say,
appreciation event.
well, that or you guys could do it on one of your lives.
Oh my god!
You and
yeah,
Steph.
make
Good
it all-
idea.
Yeah. A mashed potato bar instead
Yeah,
of
in
a
the
martini bar.
martini.
Yeah.
You know, well, you guys could do that because you're going to start a podcast, right? The
We
Social
are the social
Sippers.
sippers. Yes.
Maybe you could do like a demonstration on there. That could be
an
like your
excellent idea.
inaugural, recording. So tell us a little bit about the podcast.
So we decided like we were getting a lot of traction from like the lives that we're doing with the videos and the drinks, especially with holidays. And
Oh, wait a minute. Tell me about the drinks.
So we do like themed drinks for holidays and we like
fun.
test them out.
Okay.
So we did some for Thanksgiving and I do not recommend an espresso old fashioned. Like it's not good. I love espresso martinis.
Did you hear that, guys?
Sounds like a great way to ruin whiskey.
It wasn't.
In espresso.
It wasn't good. Yeah, they didn't go well together. And I like both of those things a lot.
And there's espresso martinis, and everybody likes those.
Love them.
Yeah.
Can't get enough.
But the other is just off.
Nope.
Okay.
It didn't go well together.
Well, I'm glad that you took the time and energy to test it out for us.
That's what people say. So the mimosa blend was very good.
Okay.
We did a few different mimosas, but we'll typically do it for holidays or summer drinks or whatever. So that was kind of gaining some traction. And she and I both like to talk a lot.
Yeah.
And then we happen to know a lot of small business owners. So we thought maybe we can start having some people on and just like asking them questions about what their story is. And kind of go from there. We'll see.
Yeah.
We've got some things lined up. We're pretty excited.
When are you planning to launch? Have you already recorded
So we've
any
done
episodes
one,
yet? Okay.
yeah, and then we've got maybe 4 more on the docket. So we want to try to do maybe like 2 a month.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be wonderful. The people that kind of coached us, our business coaches kind of encouraged us to do this. And they said, get 8 of them done and then launch. Then you'll have some like
That's a good
backlog.
idea. Yeah.
And then you don't feel pressure if you don't have somebody lined up. So if you have 8 ready
that's a good
to go.
idea.
How did we do that, Graham? Did you pushed out 4 right away? And then Like within a week, right? Or no, 4 all at once, the same day.
And then started releasing once a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
The average podcast makes 7 episodes and then they poop out. And so our goal was make 8 before you launch 1, and then we've already beat the odds.
Right. You kind of got.
Yep.
Yeah, because you'll
Oh,
be
I like that
episode.
idea.
And it's a
48.
similar goal. We just don't have bourbon. But the idea is to introduce small business people and say, hey, what's up with your thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
How did
We
you
make-
get here?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and what's your story?
We
Like,
were thinking about focusing on women only at first, and then we
yeah.
started talking to other people, and
Yeah.
it just didn't quite work out like that. But
yeah, I can see where having male and females would be good.
yeah,
You know, that expands
we
your
don't want to leave
audience,
anyone
too.
out.
That's right. No, yeah.
So we've got. Have you heard
Very
of the cigar
inclusive.
bar, the Right Dunbar Cigar Bar?
No.
So we held our client
me more.
appreciation event a few weeks ago there, and it's if you are a cigar or like a bourbon person, it's the coolest place I've ever seen in my life. Like there's nothing like it in Dayton. It's on West 3rd. It's in the Right Dunbar district. So we're gonna have those guys on
Okay.
pretty soon
Oh,
to
that'll
talk
be
about
fun.
it. But
Yeah.
we have videos and pictures from our client appreciation event. We just haven't posted them yet. But they've got like a members only thing. They've got big TVs, like secret spaces. It's pretty amazing.
Secret spaces.
Yeah. Leave this bookcase
Sounds like
open.
we
I
should do a
probably shouldn't be
recon
saying
mission.
that, but
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
for members, yeah.
They have. Oh, it sounds like your cup of tea, Graham. Graham.
Massage chairs, like you can have a little locker and keep your bourbon and your cigars right there, so it's there for you all the time. I haven't seen anything like it.
Is it just for men or is it men and women?
It's men and women, so they have corporate memberships also. So you could have like a meeting there. They had meeting space.
The place down in Centerville has that too. Have you been to that cigar spot? Same thing.
Really, where is that?
It's right next to, what's the restaurant? Mana?
the new one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mona.
it's just up the street from that, right on
okay.
740, 741, 725.
725.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right on that same strip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big deck out on the back. You can smoke outside. You can smoke inside. You got cigars and lockers.
Okay,
and-
I did see that
Yeah.
from behind.
Agave and rye.
Yeah.
and kind of, it's all that back parking lot area back there.
Okay.
Yep. Same situation. And they
Yeah.
got a putting green upstairs if you want to roll some
These guys
putts.
might have one too. They might
Not
be
a
in a
bad
secret
idea.
We
room.
didn't, but that is an excellent idea.
$100
Maybe you can ask
idea.
them about it when
Right.
they're on your podcast.
They had enough space.
Oh, that would be fun.
Just thinking out loud. Somebody's got it covered.
Well, you have a putting green right out here. He uses the hallway.
It's called the hallway, yeah. But there's no smoking in here.
No smoking.
Or whiskey for that matter.
Really? No whiskey in here?
Well, there might be whiskey in here. Just in case you got snowed in. You would not want to not be prepared for a snowed in day.
So do you have an ultimate dream meal after a long day or of a closing date or anything like that? What's your favorite like meal, your dream meal?
I love to go to dinner, and I don't have one thing that I like to eat specifically. I just like to go have dinner experiences, and I like for it to take a long time. So I went to Italy with my cousin, not Jay.
Yeah.
A different cousin. I can't imagine going to Italy with
We're
Jay.
not going to use Jay's name. Let's not.
No, we can use Jay.
Yeah, but let's
Use
not.
Jay's
No,
name.
let's just say it rhymes with schmay.
Yeah. My cousin, whose name rhymes with Schmay, I can't imagine going to Italy with him. It was a different cousin. And the meals were so elaborate, and we would be there for hours. And I'd love to get close to anything like that here.
And because in Italy you don't go to eat, you go to dine.
Right.
It's
And
a
that is
totally
that
different
table is
experience.
yours for that experience, not for
start
a
eating it.
hustle you in and hustle you out.
Right.
Starts at
different
9
experience.
o'clock, your reservations. Like they're such late eaters too. What town were you in Italy?
Rome.
Yeah.
And then we went to Tuscany also. Yeah, I didn't want to leave. So for me, Savannah, Rome, I would go to either place and probably never leave.
Yeah. I love it. Did you like Tuscany as well as Rome or did you like Rome
I
better?
liked Rome.
Yeah.
It was so busy and there was so much history and it was just
The
incredible.
streets, like when you're looking around and you're thinking how old everything is, but how beautiful it is.
Still after all this time. So she and I also went to Stockholm in 2020 right before COVID took place, in February. And they had some areas in Stockholm that were even older than some of the areas in Rome. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But it didn't have the same magic.
When did you go to Italy?
2015.
2015. Okay.
We did Rome, Tuscany, Paris, and then Monaco.
Oh, fun. Oh,
Yeah.
Monaco's on our
we
list.
haven't
Yeah,
done
tell us
Monaco
about
yet.
that.
It was very nice. We were only there for 3 days, so we weren't there as long as we were at the other places.
3 days, though, you probably
It
got
was
a good
enough.
feel for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gambling mostly? No
We
gambling.
were just shopping and
Yeah.
eating
Okay.
and like just taking everything in. It was
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
yeah.
100%.
For sure.
She had a business meeting one day. I went to lunch by myself, and I felt like I shouldn't even be in there. I was kind of like, are they gonna ask me to leave? Like it was just it was incredible. The whole trip was.
What kind of food do they focus on in Monaco? Like,
I think it was like
it?
seafood.
okay.
It was less heavy than what was in Italy.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the closest, restaurant here that you would compare to Italy?
So Grist downtown, but they're moving you in a little faster than they do in
Yeah, there's
in
a difference
Italy.
between turning tables and dining.
Right.
If you're there to turn
Right.
the tables quick.
Yeah.
I love
different
Sueno.
Yep.
Manna's great.
Yeah.
We've done so. One of my friends and I have done like some chef experiences there. And if you haven't had a chance to do that,
No, we
it's so
haven't
much
done
fun.
that. Oh, so they would really extend that experience for you then when you do a chef experience, right?
So it's Chef Margot.
Okay.
She also owns Solar. So she'll come in, and we did one where she was cooking for the whole room right in
Okay.
front of us, and it was hours, and they were pairing the wines. We did one a couple of weeks ago where it was a little different.
Yeah.
It was a little shorter.
Okay.
I think we're only there for a couple of hours that time rather than like
Yeah.
many hours last time.
Nice.
Do your kids like to eat like this too?
No.
No.
My oldest does. Lindsay does. She'll cook. She can really actually cook.
Uh-huh.
And my youngest is like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
She doesn't even care about
Taco
going
Bell.
out to eat at all. She's just like, she's a grazer. But my oldest she'll like, she and I have taken cooking classes together.
Oh, that's
pasta
cool.
making classes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, our oldest she's probably more of a foodie than Lily or
Oh,
Grace.
100%.
Yeah, Caitlin definitely is. She's done fine dining where she loves to serve and
Front of the house,
explain
back of the
about
house,
the
all of it.
wines and all that
Sommelier
kind of
training,
thing.
all of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. She's still good friends with a chef down in Savannah. It's Local is the name. So if you're ever
Okay.
down there, you'll have to check it out. And sometimes she'll call her up and say, "Hey, I'm doing this, private event. You want to come and just hang out and, be with the guests
that's
and
amazing.
take care of them." And she will because she loves it so much.
But her first job was here in Fairborn.
Yeah,
at the
Chantilly
bakery.
Cream.
Chantilly.
Oh,
On Main,
I've
right?
only been in there one time, but
When
yes,
she
I know
was-
exactly what
amazing.
you're talking about.
And she was
Yeah.
probably 14 or 15.
Yep, 14. She was old enough to have a job there.
Her next job, she started as a busser at the Winds, then a day server at the Winds, then a night server at the Winds, then the manager of the Winds. So she's been front of the house, back of the house.
Okay.
She is the person that is a lot like what you describe as yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Likes the
really
experience.
enjoyable experiences.
Right. I was going to say, if you're going to give me 3 tips, here's your top 3 realtor tips for looking at housing in a new community. What do I want to know first?
So in a new community in terms of like,
I'm moving from here. I'm leaving Tiny Town, USA, and I'm going to another maybe mid-size or tiny town.
Or are they moving here?
No, I'm leaving. I'm leaving
okay.
here, and you're going to give me some advice on
Oh,
here's
to
what you want
sell.
to look for in that town. I got to get rid of this house first.
Yeah.
And then I got to get another house like the lady in Alabama or Arkansas or wherever
she's
going.
going to Alabama. I would say look for what amenities that you are interested in first. Double check the schools just because that makes a difference. If you're not buying your forever home, that really does matter. And then, I don't know, location. That really is very true. So if you're a yard person, it matters where the house sits. Like I've had people ask me, is this west facing or south facing? Like the windows matter for plant people. And like,
Look at the sun.
yeah.
The sun
People
will tell
don't know
you.
that though. But that is true. I mean, we're kind of weird about that. We had everybody's heads facing north to sleep.
From a feng shui standpoint, you want your
Well,
head
just for
facing
an energy
Yeah.
standpoint. Yeah.
Okay.
So Grace's bed, she would have been south.
Yeah.
And we made her sleep backwards. So
Yep.
like her bed
Yep.
that she had.
She's
she
sleeping
goes
at the
in
foot
this
of her
room.
bed?
Yeah. But
Well, head at the feet at the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looked like a normal bed placement, but we had her sleep the other way so that she wouldn't be depolarized.
But we're not that weird. We're a little bit weird, but we're not that weird.
Everybody else was facing north.
But if you can feel a difference, because I have had people say, hey, this isn't, I don't feel right. It's not facing the right direction for me.
Exactly. So you just switch it up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like grounding.
Yes.
It's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Your
So I don't know.
internal
Yeah.
compass.
So we would be those clients for you, Jessica.
Well, that's just
You would
it.
be spinning around.
You have to
inside.
know a person's level of weirdness before you can even say, where do you want to live?
So do you sell and Are you working with the seller and the buyer? Do you like to do both?
I do, but I don't like to do them together. So
Okay.
generally, I won't do dual agency. I'll
Okay.
pass it off to somebody else.
Yeah. So do you have more people that you sell for or more people that you buy with?
It's been
Buyers,
50-50 the
okay.
last 2 years. So we all track this stuff pretty closely.
Yes, I'm
so the
sure.
last 2 years, it's been 50-50 for me. But in all my years past, I've leaned more toward even as much as 70% sometimes,
Yeah.
more toward a buyer's agent than a listing agent.
Oh, that's so interesting.
And I don't really know why.
Do you think it's because of the videos?
I have no idea. I would love to know the reason. I don't know if maybe I gravitate more toward buyers and I'm putting more effort in that way. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's fascinating, isn't it?
You might be sleeping in your bed the wrong direction.
If you think I'm not going to check my compass when I go home, you're very wrong.
And check for your
You're
kids too.
clearly doing something right.
Yes.
I think my head is west.
You are clearly doing
You
something
think your
right.
head is west?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm going to check.
Yeah, you could always just shift it 90 degrees then and just sleep, depending on how
Northwest.
big your bed is.
Yeah, and he's just going to have to suck it up and get used to it.
Yeah.
That's just
He'll be
how
like,
it's
what are
gonna
we
go.
doing now?
Yeah.
Oh, your bucket list goal about becoming a therapist.
Yes.
So this this totally
didn't
caught me
read
off
that.
guard in your notes. Yeah. So it's really inspiring. Does that all fit for you?
I love to listen. I think we've kind of talked
Yeah.
about that a little bit. And I love to help people. So
Yeah.
I think eventually, maybe, like, I don't really know if I'm ever going to get there or not. I'm still
Yeah.
punching away at the bachelor's degree, but we'll see.
Yeah. So where do you fit that in? Like
You mean school, study?
school and studying and all of that.
So I haven't taken any classes for like 3 months. So
Okay.
I decided to
Take a little break.
Yeah, just
Pump
take a
the
little breather
brakes.
this year. But I'll get up like early and
Yeah.
knock it out in the morning.
It's something that you can do online.
I'm doing it online. Yeah.
Okay.
You're basically a therapist now. You're working with buyers and
We
sellers.
know.
You are
Like,
a
there is
therapist.
an element to this.
100% true.
Because we're dealing with
Just bump your
crisis a lot of
fees and
times,
cover
right?
the therapy session.
Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
these showings, it was an hour. That's
Yeah.
$250.
How do you feel about these colors?
It's part of it. Yeah. So where do you see yourself going from here? Like,
I definitely want to continue to sell for another 10 to 15 years. But I think while I may be moving toward, so I think, we're not going to talk exact ages. However,
Yeah.
if I did this for another 15 years, I could still have another career
oh, fun.
doing that.
You think any of your children will follow in your footsteps the way you followed in your mama's? No.
No, I do not think so. I wish they would, but I don't think so.
But did you feel that way when you were younger too?
yes.
Okay.
I would have said absolutely not. So we'll see. I
Yeah.
don't think my oldest would at all. She's working on her anthropology degree.
Okay,
She likes
totally
to study people.
Okay. Huh.
Well,
Well,
anthropology is usually studying the ones that are already gone,
Yeah.
like dead people.
She is tying those two together. She's got a minor in psychology and maybe
All
adding
right.
something on in criminal justice. So
oh,
she's
wow.
really like,
Ooh, that's
going to be
cool.
studying people.
She going to school around here?
right state.
Yeah.
She went away her first year and then she came back.
Yeah.
But
That is fascinating. There's a lot to tell from Bones.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so weird to me that she picked this because she's always been my little bone collector. Like they did something with the mice when they were in school, like little
Yeah.
mice skulls, where she kept them. And I did not know that until she was a little bit older. And she was like, getting a new dresser or something.
That's a fun necklace. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
they're
like,
mouse
what is
skulls.
all this? And she's like, oh, those are my mice skulls. And I'm like, oh my God.
They were my skulls.
Yeah. And she kept them. So then we go to the beach and she would find like various
yeah,
things and she would be the one bringing them back. And we're like, Lindsay, did you
Yeah.
bring something? And she'd
Yeah.
be like, yeah.
What is that
I just
smell?
want to look at it.
So it's those are like clues to what she was going to grow up to be.
Yeah.
Something that she's always been passionate about.
Yes,
Huh.
for sure.
What about your other kids?
So my youngest, I think she's going to be a nutritionalist.
Okay.
She kind of says maybe not, but
Yeah.
she's always been my food studier.
Interesting.
She will read every label.
So that's her clues. Yeah.
I believe that. And then the other two, we're not sure.
Yeah.
The other one, she's saying maybe she wants to do something in the medical field.
Okay.
And then the youngest is still very undecided.
Yeah.
But we like to question them about it for
Oh,
fun
sure.
at dinner randomly.
Oh, yeah.
People will always need a place to live.
Yeah.
Always. Like that's job security.
I agree.
People will always need a haircut.
Yeah.
That's job security.
Mm-hmm.
People will always need a place to live. People will always need buried. Those are like the top three. like
Chaos
jobs.
houses.
And so and drinking. People will always drink. You bartend, you can barber, you can bury, or you can find them a place to live.
What's your favorite book?
Oh, I am a reader.
Yeah.
And I am blank right now.
I was going to say that was a
Yes.
curveball.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
a high-hanging curveball.
I was thinking about that though earlier when I knew that you were going to be coming over. I'm like, I bet she reads a lot of books.
I love to read. I don't know
Yeah.
that I have a favorite. I don't double read anything.
Fiction or nonfiction?
Both.
Both, yeah.
I will usually be reading both a nonfiction and a fiction.
Okay.
So I have to put the nonfiction down for a little bit and
Yeah.
then go back to something more fun.
Do you like to actually have a book, or do you like to have an iPad, or do you like to listen?
I'm a nerd. I'm a book nerd.
Yep.
Like I actually like to have the book in my hand.
Do you
I still go to the library.
Yeah. Oh, do you really? Oh, I love that. I haven't been to the library for a long time, but I love the way a library smells.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Smells?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh
I
yeah,
do.
they have a distinct.
It's amazing.
right.
Yeah, and it just makes you feel so happy.
Yep, I agree.
Makes me feel.
I used to shelve books at the Fairborn Library when my girls were really, really little, like
Yes.
before I
Did
started
you take
doing
it for
this.
story time and stuff too?
Oh yeah.
Mrs. Neff.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
Who is Miss Kelly's mom?
Correct.
Yeah. She
That's small town.
That's small town right
That is
there.
Tiny
way
town,
small
USA.
You had a good genre of music.
Oh
too.
my. Yeah. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I could be listening to like smooth jazz and then to hip hop and then like to Rolling Stones. It's all over.
It's fun to have different playlists though, just depending on your mood. Right?
Yeah. It's very mood dependent.
Yeah. Do you sing in the car?
Always.
Do you sing in an accent or do you always sing in the same voice?
It's different. I mean, I'm performing in the car.
Yeah.
Would you want to talk in an accent?
No.
Oh,
You wanna be
would you do
British?
British?
All day long. Oh, you kidding me? For sure. Like all day in the car. I'll talk in the car like, who is this?
You could like pull off being British. I would believe that.
Yeah, you could.
It's wild. Yeah.
Have
I
you
don't
been
know.
to The
These
Last
little
Queen?
silly
Oh, I
voices.
love it. Yeah.
So Adrian had been on. He's been a guest
Oh,
on
okay.
too. And oh my gosh, I couldn't get enough of his accent. It's like, please talk some more.
Yeah.
We're just gonna listen. You can just talk about. Keep
Just
talking.
Tell the story. I'm so excited about his little.
Their new
project,
venture.
yes.
Yeah. Did you see the double decker bus sitting out there? I know. I can't
He
wait.
gave us kind of a sneak preview. It was off camera, I think, when he was telling us about the double decker bus. And we were super excited about that, but he hadn't told us about the building.
Oh.
I don't think that had been finalized at the time, but they're going to be able to do high tea. And so I'm so excited about
And like
that.
events and yeah.
It's
What's your
super
favorite thing to
fun.
eat there?
What's your
Chuggy
favorite thing? Yeah.
burger. Chuggy burger.
Okay. I like the Able Burger.
Yeah. I like them both.
They have the best French fries.
That's what my husband says. They're a lot of potato, but he's Irish, so
Oh, perfect.
yeah, he's in.
Maybe that's why I like them too.
Maybe, yeah, you got that Irish thing going on.
You never
too.
know.
Anything else you want to share with us tonight, Jessica? This was super duper fun.
I feel like we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you said you were going to ask about the market.
Oh, yeah.
Predictions for the future. Things are changing, right? It's fair to say that whether you like the outcome of the election or whether you do not like the outcome of the election is irrelevant. It is going to change the game. What do you think's happening in the future for housing and finance and all of that?
I do not think in our area we will see anything backslide. We're pretty balanced right now.
Okay.
A lot of people did wait last year, and a lot of people waited until after the election. As far as buyers go, this is one of my busiest Novembers that I've had.
Wow.
Is there
Just in
enough
the last
stock?
few weeks.
Is there enough?
In the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So
after-
people felt,
Yep.
I'm ready
They
to do
really
this
waited
now.
until
Yeah.
after the election.
I feel like for about 2 months, life was paused.
Yes, I agree. People truly waited.
felt
And
that in the
when
market.
people started saying that, we were like, yeah, okay. And then this time for this election, they really did wait. I kind of feel like, no, there's probably not enough housing stock. There's so many DOD contracts coming in. And then we get a lot of people that are choosing our area because they can commute to Cincinnati or Columbus.
right.
True.
We're kind of right in the middle.
Yeah.
And you get a lot for your money here.
Yep.
Not that we want more. We're not trying to grow the place.
No.
We like our
we
tiny
like our-
town.
It's good.
Small town.
Right. But your dollar goes a long way in this market.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody though.
No, I think it's okay. Like I think
Well,
it's,
just the housing that's gone up around this office in the last
Yes.
3
Well,
years.
it's true. Like
off the
across
chain,
from-
new
Yeah.
housing. And then they put this big new complex of school stuff across the street. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think the people who bought these houses knew there was going to be a school there?
We did. We did.
Okay.
I sold some of the early ones, and we knew that it was going to happen.
Because you're going to hear the high school band, you're going to get to hear the lights, you're going to get to feel the
only on
vibe.
Friday nights, and it's kind of exciting, right?
Most people say that
Yeah,
they feel like
they
it's
like it.
exciting.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I grew up
Parking.
next to Baker.
Oh wow! So you got the same thing.
I liked it. We liked it. It was fun.
Okay.
You know what I love about our town? Even no matter when we lived in downtown Fairborn, we lived on Wright Avenue. That's where the girls were. That's where they
Okay.
kind of grew up. And out where we live now, I can hear the train go
Yeah.
through town, and I love that.
My mom says that.
love it.
Her
It
dad
makes me
was
so
like
happy.
one of the train conductors many years ago. Like the one that they parked that we had out by the cement plant for a long time. He
Yes,
actually parked
right.
that.
Oh my gosh!
And
wow.
she loves that she can hear the train whistle.
Yes, I love it too. I don't know that it just does make me feel very hometown.
Still close to home. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. So in town or on the outskirts of town, we can hear it.
They
It
can
makes
probably
me
hear
happy.
it out here in the new houses too, I would imagine.
I would think so.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the other thing that I love sound wise is when I hear revelry from the bass.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's always just kind of like, I don't hear that all the time like I do with the train. Revelry?
Reveille.
Reveille?
Reveille. Revelry is something
Oh,
else.
revelry. You're right.
Did you hear all that revelry? Yes, I did.
But maybe that's just
Yeah,
my
reveille.
feeling of it. Yes, but
that's
wait a minute.
it.
Say it again.
Reveille.
Reveille.
Reveille. You're gonna have to do. Give me now. Now I need to know that I'm right about that. Because
Reveille.
revelry is what happens. Revelry goes
when
with
you're
Reveille.
celebrating.
frivolity.
Reveille. I think you're
Yeah.
right.
I think you're right. You're
Reveille.
probably- I mean, you really are.
Yeah,
He's quite
It's
the trivia
like
man.
the
So I
Boogie
do
Woogie
trust
Bugle
him.
Boy at Company
But,
B. And
but to me, that word doesn't sound right.
it's reveille.
I mean, it does sound like a real word. But Graham gave you the thumbs
I
up.
could have made it up. I don't know. Could have been a dream.
Yeah, true.
But you're right. That is part of because it's 7:30 every day and 5 o'clock
Yeah.
every day. We get to know when the base is coming and going or opening.
And that's a
closing.
big part of our community.
It is.
And people stop.
Yeah.
If you're in downtown Fairborn at 5 o'clock and you hear that coming, people will absolutely stop in their tracks.
Really?
Some people actually put their hand over their
Oh,
heart.
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It is a thing. And it's a largely military community. So there are people who are raised on that, trained on
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
But,
Small town USA.
Yep.
So, Jessica, do you think that you'll do anything different because of the after the election, the economy now, the shift of the way people seem more hopeful?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some do, some
we're
don't.
kind of wading
Some
into
people
it.
seem way less hopeful.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Some people are like leaving the
That's true.
country.
There's divide still.
100%.
I'm kind of wading into it to see where people are at, and I think each individual situation is different.
Gonna be
and you got to feel them out because they both need houses.
Correct.
Right? They
have
both need houses.
A couple right now, and they are both. I'm not going to say anything that anything
Yeah.
private, but they're both
Right.
federal employees, and
Yeah.
they said the last time this administration was in, there were a lot of cuts internally.
Defense.
So they
spending.
were, they were a little bit concerned in terms
Yeah.
of buying, so they backed their budget down a little
Okay.
in anticipation of
I've
that.
heard that
Yeah.
same conversation. And when
That's
you put
the only
Elon in
time I've
charge and
heard
he
it.
cut 75% of the people who worked at Twitter and they still ran pretty smooth. And if he's running this show and he's going to talk about
Yeah.
trimming some fat, it does
So
make
yeah,
you
they
gonna
were
be an
biting their nails a
interesting
little.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see.
right on.
But gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you
being
for
here,
having me.
Jessica. This was really
Coming
great.
out to play.
Yeah, coming out to play. Yeah, and I hope your podcast goes really well. As soon as you have it up and going, let us know, and we'll add that to the show notes as well,
link
so
in.
that people can connect to you there too.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else?
No,
All
this
right.
is great. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Remember
should people
to
do?
like, subscribe, and follow. Bye,
You have
guys.
to say that
Yeah.
at the end of your podcast every time. Subscribe, like, and follow.
I do think
probably
it
already
makes a
did.
difference.
yeah.
You have to remind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, only if you like it. If you don't like it, don't do any of that. If it makes sense to you to do that. I mean, it's still a semi-free country. You should do that if you want to.
Cut.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
See you next time. Oh, shoot.
Good job, girl.
Thank you.
Anytime we get through an episode with no swearing, it's a good situation, right? There was
You
no.
don't usually swear.
Thank you very much.
No, you don't usually swear. Not
Yeah.
not with a guest. Sometimes it's just me and you.
Oh, come on.